John Maynard Keynes, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money, Great Minds. Dive into the intriguing findings of John Maynard Keynes' groundbreaking, The General Theory, where he offers a revolutionary framework for understanding economic crises and ways to overcome them. Rejecting the idea of a laissez-faire capitalism, Keynes challenges the classical economic models and their assumptions. In his general theory, he puts forth the concepts of aggregate demand, effective demand, and the importance of money as a connector between the present and future, adding nuance to the understanding of how economies function. This summary will guide you through Keynes' ideas on liquidity preference, interest rates, consumption, investment, as well as the dependent and independent variables of a functional economy, ultimately offering insights into how governments can bring stability and induce progress.
The failure of classical economics. The Great Depression exposed the flaws of laissez-faire capitalism and the inadequacy of classical economics. The book argues for a new, general theory that can explain the behavior of the entire economic system during crises and downturns. Unregulated capitalism does not efficiently return an economy to maximum resource utilization after shocks. The book provides insights into changing output and employment levels and calls for a new economic approach that considers the system as a whole. Aggregate demand and classical model. The concept of aggregate demand in economics states that an increase in supply creates its own demand. According to classical theory, aggregate demand represents the proceeds entrepreneurs expect from employing end men, while the price of employing end men denotes aggregate supply. Effective demand is the point where demand and supply meet, representing the maximum employer profits and level of full employment. However, investments are sensitive to future expectations, which can lead to quick and damaging swings in activity and capital costs. Such changes affect the prices of wages and goods, leading to involuntary unemployment, as witnessed in the U.S. during the Great Depression. The book emphasizes that the ideas of economists and political philosophers have a significant impact on the world, and their perspectives are capable of influencing the level of employment in the economy. The role of money in free markets. In a free market, supply and demand balance the resources used in producing and distributing goods and services, while money serves as a unit of exchange without an active role. Classical economics theory holds that savings become enterprise investment, but money matters because it serves as a link between the present and the future. Money is not only a unit of exchange, but it also serves as a store of wealth, allowing individuals to form a liquidity preference. This preference changes with circumstances. During uncertain times, individuals and organizations prefer liquidity, holding cash or liquid assets that can easily turn into cash. This reveals that money is not just a means of exchange but an important tool for future planning. Understanding interest rates. In this summary, we explore the relationship between interest rates, consumption, and liquidity. We'll look at the assumptions of the classical analysis, the effects of income changes on consumption preferences, and the impact of hoarding on interest rates. Finally, we'll touch on changes in money supply and how they affect interest rates. To attract investors, an enterprise must offer a rate of return that exceeds the interest rate, which is the price that creates equilibrium between the desire to hold cash and the available quantity of cash. However, the interest rate is not the price of savers' readiness to abstain from present consumption, as the classical analysis assumes. Under normal circumstances, individuals tend to maintain a stable propensity to consume a certain portion of their income, but substantial shifts in fortunes may influence their consumption preferences. Beyond consumption and liquidity levels, people typically want to invest increased income. In the real world, the riskier the economic climate appears, the more people tend to hoard cash, and enterprises will have to pay reluctant savers to give up liquidity, pushing up interest rates to achieve equilibrium between the demand for holding cash and the money supply. Changes in money supply affect interest rates. The quantity theory of money says increased money availability increases jobs to a level of full employment, at which time the general price level rises in relation to the amount of money in circulation, leading to inflation. Typically, interest rates fall when the quantity of money increases. In conclusion, while the classical theory assumes certain characteristics for economic society that may not be true, in the real world, interest rates play a crucial role in balancing liquidity and investments. Changes in factors such as money supply, consumption preferences, and economic climate can significantly impact interest rates. Demystifying capital investment. Entrepreneurs invest in durable assets to create saleable outputs, with the expected revenue streams being the returns on investment. The prospective yields of investments are essentially a series of annuities, and the return on investment is calculated by subtracting output costs from sales proceeds. The replacement cost of output units determines their supply price, which is what a businessperson will accept to create additional product units. The marginal efficiency of capital is a crucial factor in determining the value of a capital asset, as it adds to the prospective yield. It is calculated by estimating the costs of the annuity's present value, which in turn would equal the supply price. Capital assets constitute all present investment opportunities, and the investment demand schedule is also referred to as the schedule of the marginal efficiency of capital. The general theory of the economy. The book delves into a comprehensive understanding of the economy by identifying the dependent and independent variables. According to the author, employment and national income are the dependent variables that matter the most in an ideal economy. The independent variables that affect these outcomes include the margin of capital efficiency, interest rate, and consumption rate. The author emphasizes that even though these factors are independent, they interact in the real world. The government can manipulate these variables by using monetary policies, tax, and fiscal spending policies. The book also states that the size of the workforce at full employment depends on the supply of labor, the propensity to consume, and the amount of new investment. According to the author, the economy is subject to fluctuations, but it does not function chaotically. The book concludes by stating that the avoidance of extremes is due to the inherent psychological tendencies of human nature. Uncertainty and the psychology of investment. The future is unpredictable when it comes to enterprise investments, causing fluctuations in the market. This uncertainty stems from the fact that the future cannot be predicted in dynamic economies. Due to the absence of rules and results, probabilities cannot be assigned to investments. Thus, investment decisions are influenced by the psychology of investors and their animal spirits, their spontaneous optimism. Markets exist to provide liquidity, although good times can lead to speculation by investors, often sowing the seeds of future bubbles and instability. It is evident that forecasting is based on psychology, particularly confidence about future stability, and observations of the present. Economic slump solutions. Large investments impacting the productivity of assets can result in deflation, reduced effective demand, and a drop in propensity to consume. The government can mitigate this issue by introducing monetary reforms and increasing fiscal spending. The redistribution of income, death taxes, and transaction taxes could increase individuals' and businesses' propensity to consume.
John Maynard Keynes shattered the widely accepted beliefs of classical economics with his revolutionary, the general theory, emphasizing the shortcomings of the traditional model's assumptions, and shedding light on the real-world complexities of economies in turmoil. Through a deep exploration of topics such as aggregate demand, investments, consumption, liquidity preference, and interest rates, Keynes illustrates the intricacies of our economic systems and encourages a re-evaluation of the laissez-faire approach. It is clear that many of the ideas from this book hold relevance even today as global economies grapple with market fluctuations, speculative activities, and the roles of governments in stabilizing financial landscapes. Embrace Keynes' wisdom and enrich your understanding of how economies function in crisis and downturns, and empower yourself with the knowledge to navigate an ever-changing financial world.